be ready. Will you?
I love that, Denise. I love the play on words.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yes, I love that.
Yes.
Thank
I love
you.
the play on words, and I love the intimidation. Like, woo, you know, like with just that one, you know, those few lines, that's very intimidating and very direct. Like, yeah, you have that way. You can have that way.
I can.
Yes, to express.
I'm sorry I missed it. My system had shut down.
I'll read it again because it's very short.
Yes.
I can't worry about when or if. I know that if will happen when, and when if does happen, I'll be ready. Will you?
And that can mean like so many different things too.
So like many different things.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can. I thought about it. He knows what it means.
I know that's right.
Ain't no mistaken.
Yes, yes. Okay.
And this next one is called Storm Warning.
What is it?
Storm Warning.
Okay.
Thinking you owe no explanation, you sit and talk about the weather. But I can't see you for the murder of crows blotting out my sun, and I can't hear you for the storm warning ringing in my head.
Mom, can you repeat it one more time?
I will.
Thank you.
Thinking you owe no explanation, you sit and talk about the weather. But I can't see you for the murder of crows blotting out my sun, and I can't hear you for the storm warning ringing in my head.
Which is a warning to him.
Right. Somebody's mad.
Which is a warning to
him. Not a warning to her.
Let them hear.
I'm kind of that. This one is kind of a little baffling to me. So, question: is it that the person is very tricky, devious, and there's warning that they're talking, but there are signals that are coming off, and you're picking this up? Is that it?
Yeah. Okay. So this is somebody avoiding the conversation by talking about the weather. And I'm getting a murder of crows blotting out the sun. Crows are usually bring about as a sign of foreboding. And of course, storm warning. You know, we all get those warnings that says, this ain't gonna work. Or time to move on because there's something ain't right about this.
Yeah.
So I can't see you because the crows are saying, get away. And I can't hear you because there's a bell ringing in my head saying, this is not gonna work.
Wow.
A storm warning.
Okay, so you got the red flags and all that, everything.
Everything happening.
In the warning.
All my angels are saying, run, run.
Now, did you heed all of those warnings, or did you say, I didn't hear any of that?
No, I always heed my warning. I ain't been stupid for a long time.
For a long time. Oh, that was good, Mom. A very interesting piece. Very interesting.
And then this one, I was just reminiscing. It's called Barbados.
Okay.
Buoyant blue, bathwater warm, splotches of sea green, the gentle Caribbean sea, soft sand massages feet in footprints of the family members never met, yet always there in body, mind, and spirit. Lyrical syllables of lapping waves, singing songs of serenity, lulling and caressing calm breezes, surfing the white caps, defiantly defining the difference between their invasive Atlantic Ocean and our inviting Caribbean Sea.
The longing in this cold weather for Caribbean Sea.
I know that's right.
Just jump on a plane and come on over.
I wish I could.
Yes.
There's a place in Barbados, I can't think of it right now off the top of my head. I should have thought about it earlier, where the Atlantic and the Caribbean Sea meet.
Yeah.
You can see, I mean, the Atlantic is just rough and
It's dark.
violent, and the Caribbean Sea is just calm and smooth, like black folk, you know?
Are we calm? I didn't know.
The people around me are calm.
Oh, nice. Except me.
You know, y'all, look at all y'all calm people.
Yeah,
Until you don't have to be.
Try to be.
Till you need not be.
We have to fight.
Definitely.
Yeah, when we leave Primally Poetic, and hopefully you watch Nature's Table after this. So after Nature's Table, because there's actually going to be a cook on there tonight, so that's going to be interesting. You should look up where the Atlantic and the Caribbean meet in Barbados, because it's an amazing thing to witness.
Yeah, really.
Bodies of water, very distinctly different, right there meeting each other. It is great to see.
Yeah.
That was nice, Mom.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. You're welcome. Very good. Let's see what's happening in our chat room. Let's see. Nazaline said, "Go girl." And David said to your other poem, the short one, he says, "Short and spicy. I'm ready." Yes, indeed. I love that. I love that poem. All right. So let's see. Who shall I choose next? I think I'm just going to choose people tonight rather than have you guys take turns. That's okay with you guys. So I'm going to choose Katie Ann, because it's been such a long time since we've had our Katie Ann on the show. Welcome back, sister.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What do you have for us tonight?
So let's see. I just have, I can't find the page, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No problem. I love your hair wrap tonight too.
I was just thinking that. It's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you. I can't manage it anymore because it is growing.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, it is like.
Growth is a good thing now.
Yeah, that is true. Depending on where I'm growing, can be up or down.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Sorry about this.
It's okay. If it's a little bit longer, we can bother Chris, or we could just wait with you. It's up to you. If you think it's going to be like another 2 minutes,
yeah, or
go to Chris. If it's going to be, say it again.
It's just the page just went like cuckoo.
Oh, I know. That's what my laptop was doing all day. So it must be something in the air. It's too cold for these laptops, I guess. I don't know, because mine was really acting funny today.
All right, so let me just get back to this.
Not working yet?
It is there. 1 second.
Okay.
So sorry about this.
No, it's okay. It happens.
Usually it's up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Happens, it happens. It's worth the wait. We love your writing.
All right, so this is a short one. It says, I didn't name it as yet, it's just number it. It was poem number 1160.
Wow, I love it.
So it goes, though the night sky shows that the stars are plenty, I have reached the stars, but the sky was empty. I have sailed with chance, drowned pride and asked, left my comfort, but not a star was grasped. I have pulled the heavens for a star to touch ground, none did come. So next time around, if I can't find stars or there's none on loan, I will take my time and I'll build my own. I will sail with chance, respect its tide, but dive deep waters to retrieve my pride. And I'll make my sky with the suns at night, And when their sky lies empty as it does tonight, I'll reach for stars in a sky homegrown. Or if I can't find stars, then I'll make my own.
Mm.
Oh man. Brilliance again. Do you know who that reminded me of? Maya Angelou, in the way that you read it and in the confidence in your tone and in your, even with the last line, first it smelled and it felt of Maya Angelou to me.
Mm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I loved it.
And then this other one, you sure though? Because my Angelou is like, she's like up there, you know what I mean? Maya Angelou is like really up there, you know?
It really is.
Girl, take the compliment. Take the compliment.
Yes. When I heard it, that's what it reminded me of. The way she rhymes sometimes, and the way she strikes me with the way she reads what she's reading, and then the confidence in what I'll do it myself.
Mm-hmm. I bring my own stars.
Yes.
You like me now.
Right. And the brightness and the loftiness. I use the word lofty a lot because you guys are very romantic writers. Yeah. Yes. But that's how it reached me. So does anybody have any other, before you go to the next one, any other feedback?
Yeah, I would like the repetition of it, that I'll bring my own, making that point poignant. Yes.
Yeah, and also at the beginning, I think that the sky was empty. I think it was like those first three lines, how you kind of brought that imagery together was really good. And I wrote down my own as a note too. But yeah, I think she's right with the, I think all you guys do that with the imagery and the way you guys can evoke a picture in somebody's mind. You know what I mean? Like they're with you.
Absolutely. And you know you do it as well, Chris. Your poetry's off off the chain. All right, you can read the next one.
So the next one is called The Scene. So point, I'm not an atheist. I am Christian, not an atheist. It's just something I was coming to me one day, long time ago. Or I wrote this, but I didn't even finish like fixing it up, but I left it there, just lingering. But it's called The Scene.
Okay.
We would see it different if your stories of creation were true. For each one of us would be out of the many that came from one. And my dark skin and their Jewish straight, Chinese, white, and all things innate would mean nothing if your stories of creation were true. We would see each other with no less power, but predictions of wars made it okay to war when the time came to choose. You chose belief, creating a god of wars, a god of thieves, a god of segregation, and the direct sum of your acts was a god not for some, but for some. A god of lies, fed aid to the brim, made God a hypocrite, and you made him. And you, with your human desires, humanized God. And you told the short tree the tall one was stronger. You told the rivers the best one was longer. You told the night that the day was the light and the darkness was bad. And you saw the rose, and in your plight to upset her, you told her that the lily was better. Yet we would have seen it different if your hate was not defined by the color of a skin or descendants of a line. If race was not divided and none set out to bar another, we would not believe that difference was our war. If you hadn't made the trees believe the shorter had no worth, though they both had leaves to clean and had roots to hold the earth. If you had not spoiled the waters, made the rivers disagree, they would know that they flow just the same to had wealth to the sea. The sky would see the day as night and just had changed its dress. And the day would see the night as friend who gave it time to rest. The lily would see the rose did bleed the same within the dirt. They both would know that difference was crucial to beautify their hurt. But you fed the world with your reasons to fight. Fed the world with your wrongs and rights that were corrupted. Reasons that disrupted over time the humanity of man's mind. But you would have seen it different if your stories of creation were true. We would have seen it different. If not for your fates, we would be out of the many that came from one. And it would never be that our freedom would come without our peace, and our peace without our freedom.
Wow.
Whew,
Oh my
That is
gosh.
deep.
that was so deep.
Whew.
And I think that it was you are not alone in thinking some of those thoughts.
That's
I mean,
right.
you took me there with some thoughts, but you are so not alone. I have read the Bible and thought that same thing about God having favorites, and the Bible saying that Israel was God's favorite and his chosen, and that causing the division and the wars and the,
Mhm.
Yeah. Those
I
are the
love
things that we all question, that you put it
Yes.
so succinctly. I
Yes.
love the way that you went back to the what's the word that I want? Not the explanation, but the solution. You did this, but if you had done that, this is
Right.
what the outcome would have been.
Right.
Very well done. Very well.
Very, very well thought out and done.
Very well
Yes,
thought out.
Mm.
Have a succinct understanding of nature, just knowing how things work so that you were able to frame it properly so that we could, like, you made it very deep. You have a deep understanding.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Chris.
I think it was, I think it was a very good take on human development and evolution and human ruination of things that once had been pure.
Mm.
Yes,
Yeah, I was interested in hearing your take on it, Chris.
for sure. Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thought-provoking,
very.
well put together. Like one of those, you need to hear it again. Like, you missed
Yeah,
up,
that's
you know
good.
what I mean? Like, I need to hear it two or three times to really catch it. And I'm sure reading it is probably a different
Reading.
Yeah,
Yeah, because of
yeah.
the
Yeah.
context and stuff. So very, very nice piece.
Because it's something you want to mull over. You can't just zip through it. Yeah.
I agree. If we have time tonight, maybe you can read it again if we have time after everybody goes, because that would be great to hear it one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of iambic pentameter in there, by the way, which is difficult to do. And for me, maybe not for everybody.
Not for her.
Yeah, not for her. It's very natural. It's very fluid. You are a natural girl. You got to accept it. And
Yes.
This is your craft. This is your passion and part of your purpose. Absolutely.
Sometimes I don't believe it though, sometimes.
Yeah, we all go through that.
Yes, that's okay. You will begin to do that more, I think. Absolutely.
I think so too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Wow. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. All right. Christy, would you like to share with us tonight?
Sure. Ironically, I think it goes along the last one I was a little bit. This one's called Strange Fruit.
Oh.
Strange fruit, bang roots, changed proof, fanged tooth, drained coo, opposite of a tactful manner. Strength, shattered, faith, battered in bewilderment of being invisible. Unlike the eyes of an impartial judge who has no respect of persons. In his infinite wisdom, all were created in his glorious image. As my forefathers I hang my head on the dread of statements read, some misled by the dregs in my voice, because I now encounter bigotry hidden in legislation and adjudication. Why can hate exist on the harbor of harder places to start a heartful exchange of ideas? Sacrifice was unintentional. No crucifixion for the martyr, just stretched necks and tight ropes, and I choke, fingers, toes, skin glowed in the darkness as they were burned alive. Do or die, more like do and die, stand aside injustice. But it isn't just us that have suffered unearned retribution. No reckoning for an earth institution, no restitution for centuries of hate heaped upon however you view the color of earthen vessels. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust, no matter what tribe. Our diatribe should not be contrived in controversy because our conversation is concave and convex in context of a roundabout way. Strange fruit banged loose by ages of my ancestors' resolve. Exchange boots for chain stoops in neighborhoods duped by loots and nooses that now strangle hope before it's matured. That's faithless, breathless, undressed, stressful nakedness from a lack of resources and education, keeping our children in perpetual infancy when their bodies have reached adulthood. No purity in my thoughts of revenge as I binge on cringeworthy acts of violence that would be sure to get the attention of our oppressor. Division is the culprit. Moves fast like Corvettes and Learjets, leaving calamity in their entrails. With winds, sails, I will prevail over weakness in high places, and the princes of the power of the air that carries evil thoughts like layers of luggage across the Great Plains. Heart stained with distant thoughts of a time where race or place or ethnicity will not predetermine character. Strange fruit, banged moot points into oblivion, because the vine remains steadfast in memory of its prior condition. A blessed seed, an ordained creed of people, a reed made of backbone, resounding through generations, never forgotten, but reverberating through love's DNA. In memoriam, a rendition of the Lord's creation of man in his own likeness. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them, and God blessed them. And God said unto them, strange fruit.
Wow. That was so on point.
Yeah.
With Cadians, I mean, you're basically saying the same thing. I love your use of alliteration. I'm a big fan of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the idea. I mean, you can almost say the genre was religion is the culprit. That can almost be a genre.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I love
what struck me was when Chris spoke about division being the culprit, it almost encapsulated everything else that he had been saying.
Absolutely. That could be the title.
And I enjoy the cadence of it.
Mm-hmm.
Always love the cadence. Yes.
Yeah. Always.
The repetition of the strange fruit and the reuse of the strange fruit and understanding the context of it, that the fruit is still hanging, you know? Yeah, this strange fruit is still in so many ways. And I love your point where you said that they are kept in infancy, you know, even when they're mature. I mean, all
so deep.
Yes.
I love your inherent love for our people, your knowledge of our historical significance and contributions and value, our DNA, you said, ordained creed of people. You know, you embody what we all hope to feel like, and therefore would act in the way that we should as a people. If we all knew just how special and great that we are in that way, you know, you highlighted everything.
And loving each other, you know, like, you know, our history here is what it is, but it doesn't change the fact that and that's the answer. You know what I mean? How it should look, how we should go about doing it. You know, I couldn't give anybody an outline, but I know we need to, you know,
you went out for that last line.
I was saying maybe, you know, if we all could love each other, we'd live in a better place.
Oh,
better place.
Yes, okay. Absolutely. Woo. David says, I wanted to repeat, he actually said something about Cadian's poem too, I just didn't see it. He said, how your hate is defined, feed the world with lies with your poem. And Nazalim says, awesome, we all walk on the path. We are all walking on the path. DJ Gaddafi also says that he wants to hear your poem again, Katie Ann, at the end, if hopefully we have time. David says about your poem, Chris, we should consider sharing the poem so that viewers can read the works again at their own pace. Not sure about the modality. Something we should work on. Lots of things in the works for this year with Primally Poetic. Lots of different ideas that we're considering. Riri said, have mercy. That was powerful. Snap. And Mom J says that was powerful. It really was. It's just you can sink your teeth into it and you don't want to let it go. There were so many times I wanted to write something, but I was scared I would miss what was coming next. Just want to keep basking in the glow of what you're writing. Seriously, it's amazing. Very good. All right, ready for your next one.
Okay. This one's different. So this is going to be a left turn, just fair warning.
Okay.
Event Horizon.
Repeat that, please.
Event Horizon.
Event Rising.
Horizon.
Oh, Horizon. Got it. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
Horizon.
I'll try to enunciate it a little better too. Her smile didn't move me anymore. Just proved to be a picture of times past, as beautiful as it is with filtered cheeks, white teeth, meek gestures. When she speaks, I want to pull her tongue out with vice grips, no ice chips, Novocaine or local sedative to numb the bitter's random surgery. Because her words trigger a false reality that I no longer dwell in. Assad faded away some time ago, like row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. I hope the stream runs into rapids just before her vessel capsizes and ends off a cliff wide and deep like Victoria Falls. And curtain calls, drowning in my own self-pity. From a current cover and a former lover, looking into her eyes, emptiness lurks under despise and a red dress. I didn't feel voids, just avoided being in her presence for too long. Her voice is no longer a sweet song, just a shrill of unfulfilled emotions. I can't bring myself to love her again. Guilt tells me in any opportunity to do so is undeserved. So I love no one, pine for no one, time for no one, because I am kind to no one. No wonder I imprison myself regularly, because the lock and key to my heart was thrown away years ago, before it appeared, disappeared, and reappeared, only to be folded into fake forevers as I cleave to far-fetched realities and former factions of forgotten films. 8mm, black and white, filled with fodder and fame from a longing heart, familiar to me. I was 15. I had fallen there beneath despair and fair weather, farewell, forward thoughts. Formidable to a child's mind that never matured, growth stunted by a lack of love and a female babysitter's pedophilia. Underneath the underdeveloped heart lies layered like limestone over millennia, creating mountains to climb, cornerstones of carbon and sediments. Maybe it's Appalachian in memory of all of the broken moments. It's like a numbness mixed with many mists of mere displeasure, because I spent decades sewing into my flesh. Now I'm left to reap corruption, like a compromised hard drive, virus corrupting my data or state of mind. I'm even like a parasite taking control of the hostess as she welcomes me into her presence. And I mean no harm, but it's hardly impossible not to consume everything she has to make my escape. It's abysmal to leave her there, wanting more from a leech that knows not the law of reciprocity. Eventually, leave after she has given me everything. And what's worse is that I'll remain in her atmosphere, but I'll be like some distant star that can't be reached on sleepless nights or short conversations. I might as well be some obscure galaxy eons away. She knows I'm there, but I can never be touched. I just live amongst other heavenly bodies, suspended in my own gravity, waiting for my next victim, unwittingly attracted to my vanity. I implore her not to get too close. I know she will be consumed by the abyss where there is no way out, because I'm opaque, like Saturn's rings. I shatter things. Event Horizon.
Okay, so
Wow.
open this is
That was like, I don't know, was it heartbreak, or I wasn't sure whether your heart was broken and that's what caused everything, or whether caused the distance. But you did a great job of talking about the distance and talking about the way it was and why it couldn't be that way again. But was it heartbreak?
Both. You got it all. It was all.
Okay.
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 felt like there were two separate stories being told in one. There were two separate stories. It felt like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was almost like we all get angry at a loved one at some point. And so it's the things that you think, but never actually say or do. But this is how I'm actually feeling. You know what I mean? Like if you say another word, like I'm going to lose it. You know what I mean? Just not being able to hear her voice in the same way anymore, where it used to be sweet. Now it's a shrill because of the distance between, you know what I mean? So all that has happened and transpired. But at the same time, it's like, I want you to be around. So I never actually, well, you know what I mean? So it's that pull and tug of, being in love or not.
You have my heart still.
Chris.
Go ahead. Sorry. I'll go after you. Go ahead.
So I got frustration. I got disappointment.
Yeah.
And when you spoke about imprisoning yourself regularly and some of what followed, to me, it showed some of the darkness of man, some of how our thoughts go to based on things that have been done to us by loved ones, but things that we would not necessarily act out, but internally we battle with ourselves, and we think these dark things about maybe extracting retribution based on the hurt. But thankfully for most of us, it stays inside.
Yes, that is right. Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. Absolutely true. I will just say that. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to say that it reminds us that women can also be predators. Yes.
Yes. The babysitter part is what stuck in my mind. Even though he kept reading and I was still sailing along.
Right.
Right.
That was like a turning point right there.
Right. And it was like, is this why he can't love this woman, because this woman damaged him?
Right, exactly.
And how dare that happen, and how we can be predators as well. And hurt people do hurt people, like Chris was saying.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Oh, that just had my heart turning in my chest. It was terrible.
That was that was heart-wrenching. That line right there, like, oh no.
Yeah. The same way your poems help us fall in love with you, the way you're falling in love with whoever when the same way they encapsulate us, the same way they destroy us. Like, geez, wait a minute, I'm not ready.
Right.
Words of
power. You have to go there. Like, that's the
power of
needs
words.
To be said. Amen. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Riri says speechless. Wow. Mom says, wow. David says tonight is really powerful. Great work. And Regina says hi. She's listening from the outside. So Regina says hi to everybody tonight.
Hey, Regina.
DJ Gaddafi says, reminds me of the song Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Nazalim says, red dress heartbreaks abyss. All right. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Chris. I appreciate you again. Thank you. Amazing work. Amazing. All right. Christopher Castiota, you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. Let's see what you have for us this evening.
This first one is entitled Solomon.
Okay.
Solomon was a king and a man who enjoyed everything, certainly not denying himself of anything. Hundreds of wives and concubines, but was a man of God, whose word he really tried to follow. He was not shallow, a man of wisdom that shamed many others, but also foolish, as will be shown in words to follow. A teenager was Solomon when he first put to rule over his kingdom. He took his father David's advice and put everything in the hands of the Most High. God was pleased and asked Solomon what were his needs. Said Solomon, I am young, so help me to rule with great wisdom. God gave him wisdom more than any other man, and because he had not asked for it, included wealth and long life as additional gifts. His wisdom in deciding the matter of the child did fill his people with much pride, and along with its king, Israel flourished and was not denied. As Israel's third king, Solomon did many a good thing, enjoining his people that God Almighty was the real thing. Also, building the first temple in Jerusalem, a 7-year task in which he and his subjects did bask. King Solomon was also a poet, and by his prolific writings, he certainly did know it. Poems and songs and scriptures did he put down in writing for all generations to see. He then acted like man, strayed from God's plan. Solomon, you see, indulged and overspent, then burdened his subjects with taxes to continue enjoying luxury and riches without his pocket feeling the dent. 700 wives and 300 concubines, many of different regions and tribes, an occurrence the Lord had commanded him against, as the outside influence would urge their loyalty to other gods, and, as Solomon did, make places of worship to other gods, included the god of Moab. He had been bad. He made the Almighty sad. Really, more mad. God told Solomon he would strip him of most of what he had, but on his son's shoulders would be placed that boulder, just as soon as he became ruler. God would also leave them with one tribe to rebuild, hopefully with pride. God did that because of his servant David, whose line he wanted to regroup, to live. Between wisdom and foolishness is a fine line. Be careful how you use freedom of choice in your lifetime.
I always say Chris's work has the lesson embedded within, and you don't have to listen hard to see if you're going to hear it. It just, it takes you along in the whole ride. It always has something to teach you. And then it's beautiful to hear, beautifully written, well done, like a beautiful story and a lesson.
Thank you.
It should be an interpretive work that goes along with the Bible. So
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. You go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You got a point, because
Thank
many
you.
stories I never understood at all. So you got a point there. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris, I just wrote one note: storyteller. Like, you are excellent storyteller, and historian almost, but those things are separate and cohesive. But when I listen to your poetry, that's what I think of. Like, we're sitting in front of a fire, and maybe the elder statesman of the family is telling us the story on Christmas or some gathering or some holiday. And I think there's a word for it. You pass down the stuff from
Oral history.
Yeah, the oral history. So it kind of puts me in that mindset when I hear your work. It's definitely a compliment for sure. Storytelling, absolutely.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
And are those in the book? Is it a collection?
No, those are not new. No, there was that new material.
Oh.
This one was actually written on the 29th of December, 2021.
Oh, my birthday.
Yes. A holy day.
Happy birthday.
Lovely. Wonderfully told, so wonderfully. Thank you.
You know what all right. So just in my opinion, I feel like it fits more of, like sometimes you have the entire book, the entire Bible to read, and it's so long, and you just can't go through all of it. That seems like it just sums everything up in a shorter way, and then you get to a lesson.
Like a paraphrase.
Yeah. That's
absolutely.
Like a parable.
Yeah. And I wish you were around when I was in Catholic school and they were trying to beat the Bible over my head. I would have loved your unabridged version.
I know.
Over here, okay? Thank you.
It's sort of like, what do you say when we were in college? Those, what were they? Cliff notes? Cliff notes. Yes, that's definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I had heard about those, but I didn't see those when I was in college. I don't know if they had stopped them by then or what.
No, they did.
No, they did not? Oh.
You just overlooked them, honey.
Yes, so.
You didn't need them.
Oh, you're so sweet. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Donna's here. Hi, Donna. She said amen with her with prayer hands. Let's see. David Getty says, well done, Pastor Yoda. Inspiring life lessons. Riri says, the word in a poem. Love it. Always. Twiggy says, nicely done, Chris, and gives you a fist bump. Donna says, you are correct. He reads for the prayer group. Oh, excellent. Good to know. So we're seeing what you really do in your work. All right. Next one.
This one is get tested.
Ooh.
Prostate cancer does not have to be a grave digger. Get tested early. Just don't use a finger whose fingers are burly. Get tested yearly. If not, it could cost you dearly. And I'm not just talking about the money. It could leave you living with nothing but a memory. It can negatively impact your family. Get tested. Avoid that potential tragedy. Even if the test is positive, especially if caught early, it can be cured completely. Get tested early. Blacks and other men hate to get tested, ignorantly hiding, not wanting to be seen as a weakling. As for a macho man, the test is not a part of his plan. But you would have it wrong. Getting tested is done by the strong. The man who wants to know if there is something wrong. The man who knows that for himself and his family, he has to be strong. If there is a positive test, treatment today is at its best and can easily say if you are a snail, turtle, or rabbit, and determine what type of help you need to get. In this age of technology, get a pump and have fun until you are happy. The bottom line, my friend, is that the diagnosis does not mean the end. Get tested.
Very nice. The same way Mom was saying. Say it again, LaShawn.
I said that was a great message.
It was.
Thank you.
It should be in every male magazine.
That's what I was going to say, or doctor's office.
Yeah.
Yeah, get men to come in. How can they relate to it? That's the way they can relate to getting their prostate checked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well done. Simple.
Absolutely.
The message is always a message. Always a message. A great message.
Always a lesson.
Mm-hmm. Twiggy says, public service announcement. And who would have thought to write a poem about it, though? You see, this is the creativity I'm talking about. This is the spice of life right here. Mom J said, well said. DJ Gaddafi said, men should get tested. Yes, men should get tested everywhere. And your wife says, Chris, you can also do commercials. I agree with that, too. I agree. Very good. Thank you, Chris. We appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. So we have enough time. Katie, and for your poem, one more time, please. Grace us one more time with that. Okay?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Just one more. I don't know if it is something to anybody else, but the first Chris Townsend's poem, as I don't know if anybody has a latent effect. That's like a little scary feeling. It has a little scary vibe that is lingering. Anybody has that feeling?
It might come back to bite me later, but
that has lingered. That has been lingering with that poem.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's one. First one,
what has that feeling?
The second one she means, right?
The one with the female, and he's trying to
the second one.
Like he's upset with her. There's a scary lingering feeling that I got, and the lingering feeling feels also like, oh my gosh, don't cross this man, because you don't know what you'll do, type of scary type of feeling, like, you know, those the woman upsets him to the point where he feels them like he will do anything, but he holds it back. And he wishes her the worst, but he still loves her, you know, on like the thin line for two, but it was lingering.
Yeah.
This feeling, like the mood of the poem just kept changing.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's what it was feeling like, was scary feeling. Mm-hmm. So I got fear, I got anger, I got, what do you call it? What's the other word? The one that you kind of, what do you call it? Obsessive. There's this obsessive,
scary
feeling that comes with this poem, that lingers on with this poem. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I had to bring it up. It was lingering.
It might come back to me tonight when I turn my light off. Oh no, Chris. Very impactful. Thank you for sharing the impact of his work. That's what it is, his words.
Just so you know, I do not condone violence against women.
I know.
At all.
Not with the beautiful love poems you've written. And I wouldn't think that.
It was just a lingering thing with words that kept lingering, like it brought out that feeling.
Yeah, which is
as it well should.
Exactly. We want poems to make us feel that way, to feel whatever the author wants it is wanting us to
sharing.
Sharing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So the scene. I can go ahead now.
Yes, you can. Yes, thank you.
It's the scene.
Listen to this. This is deep.
We would see it different if your stories of creation were true. For each one of us would be out of the many that came from one. And my dark skin and their Jewish trait, Chinese, white, and all things innate would mean nothing if your stories of creation were true. We would see each other with no less power, for predictions of wars made it okay to war when the time came to choose. You chose belief, creating a God of wars, a God of peace, a God of segregation. And the direct sum of your acts was a God not for some, but for some, a God of lies, fed aid to the brim, made God a hypocrite, and you made him. And you, with your human desires, humanized God. And you told the short tree the tall one was stronger. You told the rivers the best one was longer. You told the night that the day was the light and the darkness was bad. And you saw the rose, and in your plight to upset her, you told her that the lily was better. Yet we would have seen it different, if your hate was not defined by the color of a skin or descendants of a line. If race was not divided and none set out to bar another, we would not believe that difference was our war. If you hadn't made the trees believe the shorter had no worth, though they both had leaves to clean and had the roots to hold the earth. If you had not spoiled the waters, made the rivers disagree, they would know that they flow just the same to had wealth to the sea. The sky would see the day as night that just had changed its dress, and the day would see the night as friend who gave it time to rest. The lily would see the rose did bleed the same within the dirt, that they both would know that difference was crucial to beautify their earth. But you fed the world with your reasons to fight, fed the world with your wrongs and rights that were corrupted, reasons that disrupted over time the humanity of man's mind. But we would have seen it different if your stories of creation were true. We would have seen it different if not for your faith. We'd be out of the many that came from one. And it would never have been that our freedom would come without our peace, and our peace without our freedom.
That just yanked my heart out again.
Yeah, again, it's just.
I forgot to turn on the heat, and my legs are crazily cold. Sorry. So I had to be like trying to pull for heat because my legs are feeling really chilly because the heat isn't on. Oh my God.
Were you shivering as you were reading?
Yes, my legs, because I'm feeling it in my legs. My arms aren't so cold, but my legs, my feet are cold.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Well, the poem was anything other than cold. It made me feel hot inside, and it made me think of race as the social construct, as what it is, built in this country, and how, like you said in the poem, they humanized God. They humanized him. And that's the issue. That's the crux of the poem, in my opinion. And it's brilliant.
Religion is absolutely used to divide us as opposed to unite us.
Yeah. And it made me think of all the different tribes and the descriptions of the tribes, and all of those things that divide,
Yes.
this one from that one,
Absolutely. Well, I hate to rush out of here. You know how it is when you're having a good time. The time goes by so fast. We appreciate you guys again coming on another Monday to infect the world with your poetry. Really quickly, Donna says, wow, powerful, a lot to reflect on. Twiggy says, beautiful. Riri says, oh, my stars. And I could just hear that in her voice.
Here too.
Yes. So I want to thank you guys all again for being here with us and reading and sharing a piece of your soul. Katie, and I want you back more. We miss you. We love you. All right. Take it easy, guys. Coming up next is Ras Manga's Nature's Table. See his special guest cook some Aito something or other, probably. All right. Looking forward to it. Take care.
All right. Thank you. All right.
All right.